there's different advice for different people at different levels of their journey, okay? In self-help, it's great. You find out about things like social momentum is an example, right? It's like, hey, if I'm thinking a lot, if I just minimize time in between some interactions, my mind won't have enough time to kick in. Does that work? Yeah, to a certain amount, but it never fixes the problem, right? You never get to the cause as to why is your mind kicking in and overthinking. You're just trying to battle it. The same with people who have social anxiety, right? What's the traditional approach to social anxiety? Doing social anxiety challenges. Progressive desensitization. Will you temporarily feel a little bit more comfortable socially if you put yourself out there in different social anxiety situations and challenges? Yes or no? Yeah. You put yourself in front of, say, if you're scared of public speaking, you go in front of a crowd, you do it enough, you'll desensitize yourself to it. But only to a certain amount and only as long as you keep doing it. As soon as you stop doing the challenges, what happens? You fall back to ground zero. So what's your solution? If you're like, well, I'm doing anxiety challenges every day. I hear people say that. I go out in the street and I do my little challenges and I talk to some people and I sing a song and people judge me and now I feel very free. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to do that till you're 80? Is that your solution? To stay confident, you're going to be like the 80-year-old grandparent, like, you're going out and do my challenges? No, it doesn't work. It only works so far. It never gets to the cause as to why do you have social anxiety to begin with, right? The same with you, with like consistency, self-sabotage, you feel like you keep being pulled back. People will tell you like, okay, well, you know, put good habits in place and different boundaries so you just don't have a choice. Yeah, but it never addresses that thing that just keeps pulling you back. Or you at the front, it's like, well, maybe I can force myself to drop the front or come up with techniques to be more, you know, it's like, no, why do you have the front? So much of self-help never gets to the cause, right? The same with, you know, things like affirmations. Affirmations. I am awesome. I am awesome. Does that help? Okay. Now you could say temporarily it could, but if a part of you deep down inside believes that you're not, it doesn't matter how many times you tell yourself you're awesome, you're still going to think that you're not. We all have that voice in the background like, I am great. No, you're not. I am great. No, you're not. But someone told me if I said it 200 times, maybe it would work. After 200 times, try it. That voice is still going to say, no, you're not after. Okay? It doesn't get to the cause. The biggest takeaway is you must get to the cause. Okay? Now, do these bits of advice, like I said, help temporarily? Yes, they help in a certain paradigm. And this is important. It's the difference between techniques and paradigms. Okay? Techniques versus paradigms. Paradigm, you could say, is the reality, the map, the situation, right? For example, here's a paradigm of you having social anxiety. In this paradigm, for someone who has social anxiety, does it help to do social anxiety challenges and to progressively desensitize themselves to it? Yes, right? But you're still in the paradigm of having it. The key is instead of looking for techniques within that paradigm, drop it and move to a paradigm where you just don't have social anxiety. And you don't need all those challenges and techniques. The same with someone who's stifled socially, right? You want to know your ceiling of success when it comes to social interactions? As soon as you start freezing. I'm sure you've noticed this. If you talk to someone you feel like, we're in the same league, or I'm a little bit outside their league, you don't run out of things to say. Right? You can talk and talk and talk. You can show your personality. You can be charismatic. You probably drop that front. But as soon as you talk to someone you think, they're a little bit above me, you start freezing. In that paradigm of someone being stifled, does it help to look up techniques for how to never run out of things to say? Yes or no? Yeah. Oh, what if I run out of things to say? What can I do? I can say this. But guess what? What about just not being stifled? And not even needing that technique of how to not run out of things to say, because you just don't run out of things to say. And that's the thing. So many of us were looking for these techniques that entrench us in that paradigm. The same with affirmations, right? If you believe deep down inside, it's like, I'm not good enough, and then you try to convince yourself, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough. Is it better than nothing? Yeah, but it doesn't address that original cause, which is, wait, why do I believe I'm not good enough? Okay? The same with, I'm not confident. I need to work on my confidence to become confident. No. Will it help temporarily but it never gets to the cause. You want to know why? Because only someone who isn't confident is working on being confident. The more you work on being confident, this is also the catch, the more it entrenches you in that paradigm. The more you work on being confident, the more you tell yourself you're not confident. The more you try to convince yourself that I am great through affirmations, the more it's reinforcing that original assumption that you're not great. The more you work on these techniques to not run out of things to say, the more it reinforces that, hey, around this person you're stifled. The more you work on social anxiety challenges, the more you tell yourself I have social anxiety. Okay? So you got to catch yourself here. Techniques are great, and in every paradigm there are certain techniques, and that's perfect. But if you've reached a point where you're going after technique, and it's getting so overwhelming and complicated, because that's what happens. You start with a few basic ones, and it doesn't give you that results. You just double down and double down and double down, and you're still not getting the result you're after, then guess what? It's not about techniques. It's about shifting paradigms and realities completely. Okay? And it is possible. We're like, what do you mean? You can shift to not having social anxiety? Yeah.